think maybe it's because Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho are sort of like huge, massive personalities in the world of football, and when they came into an interview after the game, they were very spiky at times, so it almost brought anger out maybe in this studio. I don't think there's any anger in this studio at this moment in time, and I don't think there's no ill will towards any manager, but certainly towards Rúben Amorim. I think we all want him to do really well. But there are patterns emerging, and there'll be no Manchester United fan that exists that isn't worried at this moment in time about what's going to happen in this next month. And the one thing I would say about the system, and I'm not going to get bogged down on 3 at the back, 5 at the back, 4 at the back, but when he talks about the 2 in midfield, and Patrick, I thought, asked him 2 really good questions there about the 2 in midfield. I think it's about who the 2 players are, number 1, which obviously United haven't got the right 2 in there, whether that's Casemiro, Gatti, Mainu or Fernandes.
He doesn't have any players that fit this system.
No, he hasn't got the right 4 in there, so that's a big problem for him. So then you would ordinarily say a manager has to adapt until he gets the right players into the club. He's not been able to do it in this first wave of transfers.
Whose decision would that have been, Gary?
No,
Because they spent all the money at the top of the pitch, didn't they?
No, but I think they need to fix the top of the pitch. I don't disagree with that, but they spent 200 odd million. We were all surprised United had that much money. But just coming back to the 2 in midfield, there is a pattern. It is a problem. So I know that he said it's not a problem in there because he's got 3 at the back and he's got the 3 in front. He said he mentioned Abermo, Sesko and Diallo. I know exactly what he means, but it is a problem. And it's happening in a lot of the games that Manchester United are playing. They start off really compact, where all players, the 10 players, are connected together. The 5 at the back, the 2 midfield are really close to that 5, and then the 3 in front are cuddling that 2. So they're really protected. But what happens is if the game becomes a little stretched, and it usually happens when Manchester United concede a goal. It happened against Burnley, it happened against Fulham, it happened against, not necessarily against Arsenal, but it happened against Burnley, Fulham, it happened here today against Manchester City. When Manchester United go a goal down and those 3 start to be a bit more risk-taking, a bit more expressive, and they start to stretch a little bit, that 2 then look wide open. And you can't deny that. So, yeah, I get what he means by the fact when they're all compact, but there is a problem that's emerging that if United have a difficulty in a game and those 2 end up left in there on their own, there are none of them that are good enough to defend that space, though. None of them have got the legs. You'd need Caicedo and Vieira. You'd need Keane and
that's where they get
Gerrard. You'd need
that's why they get found out against decent opposition.